Hey guys, Ali from ALTA. How are you? 2020 Memorial Day today, Monday. Happy Memorial Day. We are so glad to be bringing this video to you about our annual maintenance on the rack. We get a lot of emails and questions, so I figured I'd just put a video out to, it's like, all right, spring's here, summer's here, you're gonna start riding. Hey, go over this rack real quick for another year of great service. Start with your hitch, where it plugs in. Make sure the receiver that you got from us is stable. There's no play in the hitch side to side. You basically want a movement of the vehicle when you move that. Make sure the bolts are good. I recommend highly greasing these bolts just for the season. Put some anti-seize on them. Make sure the integrity of the bolts are good. If you hit these on the ground, sometimes if you bottom out or anything like that, you could break these bolts, and these are 3/8 by 16 thread bolts, 1.5 inch long, grade 8, zinc coated, and they're available at your local hardware store. You can get different lengths as well. If you're finding that you are grinding these on the ground, you can turn the stabilizer sideways. We're also going to show you a little upcoming release secret. As you can see, there is no stabilizer on this rack right now, external. We are testing our internal stabilizer system that seems to be pretty solid, I would say. And yeah, that was my wrench that fell. Glad it didn't fall on my head. So these will be coming out, and they're all reverse compatible as well. So if you're interested in some internals, if you have a hitch that doesn't have a lip on it, potentially you're using that extender, this will solve that issue. All right, once you figure that this is nice and tight, your connection is nice and tight, come up to the next point. At this point is your pivot point. Your pivot point is basically where the rack goes up and down from. I would go over these again. The torque rating on these are gorilla tight. That means grade 8, crank on them, get them nice and tight. And this is a 5/8 bolt, which takes a 15/16 wrench to tighten. The next step is your outer safety pin here, that also is a tensioner and also a stop point for the rack. There's 2 polyurethane wear placed on the inside so the rack doesn't scratch against metal and is always tight. Inspect the inside. When the rack's outside, make sure there's no sunlight coming through the side, and if there is, squeeze this another 1/4 turn, 1/2 turn, and it will give you even further tightness. The way to test that: pull your pin and lower the rack, and you want a nice tight action like that, and then go ahead and push it forward. So that's the next step. Is your latch functioning well? Has it got nice easy play? Do you see grease on the shaft on the inside? There's a zerg here. That's a zerg fitting that's similar to your bicycle, and if you don't have a grease gun, go to any bike shop and they should have something similar. They could pump a couple of shots in here, you're good to go. But these last couple years after purchase, so I haven't seen needing any grease. Obviously give the rack a nice clean. I would with some simple green, wipe it down. We're coming up to the lower bar. Make sure your connections are tight. Again, same thing here. These bolts, these are 3/8 by 16, which takes a 9/16 wrench. These should not be coming loose because they're nylocked, so we should be good to go. But obviously just do a visual inspection on it, make sure everything's nice and tight. Moving up the rack, your top bar, again, same thing. Make sure the bolts are correct. The position can be changed based on the bike heights. You know, this one's in the middle. This seems to be the sweet spot. Next, come up to your top bar. The top bar itself, inspect it for any kind of rust. You know, you can get scratches here from these sliders and obviously from the way they tension, but since the tubes are covering it, you're not really gonna get much rusting. You may get some rusting from peeling here, and once it starts scratching or rusting, it can peel off. So the best way is to gently sand this down with small piece of sandpaper. Get flat black automatic spray paint from any auto parts store for about $5. A spray can in black flat or textured, and just touch this up. You know, take the baskets off and touch this up. Also, if you see any rust spots anywhere else, I would touch those up as well. The next is make sure that your bolt's still in place. You can get water through here. This is for all sorts of different extensions and stuff like that. And finally, as you can see, this is peeling. You know, this is from locking it down and not using a rubber interface. My mistake, but here you go. So that's about it. I think this goes over the maintenance of the rack. Obviously, like we still continue to use our brake engagers around our brake, our handlebars and brakes to engage the brakes on the bikes while they're on the rack. These are just inner tubes cut to 1-inch strips. They're about 2.5 to 2.3 to 2.7 mountain bikes tubes to work. Thank you Guthrie's Bike Shop for providing us almost an annual amount of used tubes, and we get to keep them, recycle them, and keep them out of the landfill. If you have any questions, if you have concerns, if you have rusting around any kind of welds on the basket, it's time to contact us, because rust should not be on the welds. That's a sign of fatigue, and we want to definitely inspect those baskets to ensure that they're going to work for you. And if there are any issues, remember, you have a lifetime warranty and we fully stand behind our products. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. Happy Memorial Day, and thank you so much for being our customers and our operators. We greatly appreciate you. It gives us pride to be able to build a product here in the US and be able to have so many people enjoy it, and we get to share that with you. Thank you, and have a great day.